And good morning. It's Monday. Boy, we are so close to ending December. This is the 30th. Is everyone ready for the new year? My, 2025. Can anybody, honestly, I know there's some younger people watching, but I so remember 1999 standing downtown Marina, Mississippi as we waited for the stroke of midnight into 2000 of what was going to happen. It will be 25 years since we stood there. I'm starting to feel a little old. I don't know about y'all. That's starting to 25 years. That just does not even seem right. Every computer was supposed to go away and nothing worked. There were people that made millions off of that little adventure there of if you don't have this protected, your refrigerator won't even work. Y'all remember that? I do. Good morning. How are you? Not so bad this morning. We're looking at 47 right now. We're waiting for high of about 68, but we're going to tell you about some cold weather that is knocking at our door. If you don't have your gas and things ready yet, might better go get an extra cord or two of wood. You're going to need it for about a week. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. It's going to get downright cold. That's on the way. We'll tell you more about all of that and so much. Right now we get our uplifting word of the day as we go to Collinsville. Let's talk to them at First Baptist.
Back in the day, Mac Davis wrote and sang, "You got to stop and smell the roses. You've got to count your many blessings every day." You know, roses are certainly one of the sweet things you can smell and be thankful for. But in Proverbs 27, we're pointing to another sweet thing that has an aroma we can be thankful for. And that is the sweetness of a friend that comes with genuine life-giving counsel. Now listen to the full verse here in Proverbs 27, verse 9. "Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel." Now, we all enjoy fragrant oils and perfumes made from flowers and other spices, but as sweet smelling as they are, earnest counsel is just as sweet. Now, the word translated as earnest in this passage literally means soul. It comes from the depth of their being. It's not flippant or superficial. It's from the heart. It's not just what they think you want to hear. It's what they really think and would really do in that situation. So I wonder, do you have people in your life that have this sweet aroma? Are you that kind of friend yourself? Now, here are a few practical steps to becoming this kind of friend. First, listen well so that you fully understand the situation. 2, empathize with them and put yourself in their shoes so you can grasp the full picture. 3, think and pray before responding. You see, you don't want to tell them the first thing that pops into your head. And 4, be honest. Don't sugarcoat things or withhold important insights, even if they're difficult to hear. I pray you'll have friends like this, but more importantly, I hope you'll be a friend like this. And then you'll smell sweeter than roses. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. As we begin a Monday morning, again, as we said, 47 right now as you're waking up. The bad weather is out of the area. Isn't that wonderful? We'll talk about that this morning. We'll have some pictures to show you. We did have some major damage and sadly some loss of life in the state of Mississippi. We'll tell you all about that coming up when we get into the local headlines beginning at 7 this morning. And by the way, if you're out for a walk, if you're out for a drive this morning, naked man exercising his right as an American citizen on North Hill Street. He's just out for a stroll. North Hills is where it's happening at. As we get into headlines that are shaping America, we've talked about this over and over and over. Never in my lifetime would I ever thought that in the United States that you could see to where people aren't going to church anymore. Less than half of Americans now either don't believe or just don't go. As I was reading stories this morning to where churches all over, even from not in the deep South, are talking about how attendance is dwindling each Sunday to where people either just don't care or don't believe. I don't have the answer. What does that mean? Well, somewhere today, spread the word. Bring it up somewhere in conversation. We don't need to let this be the end, do we? No. Big Lots has reached a deal to where a large, vast majority of the stores won't close, as we know that hundreds of these stores were getting ready to be closed to bankruptcy. They've cut a deal at the last moment, and a few hundred stores will stay open. One Meridian is gone, by the way. Closed and gone. This is starting to be, I don't know whether they're picking on them, but as they're off playing sports, another sports figure has had his home broken into. He plays for the Mavericks. Don't know a lot about basketball, but Luka Doncic, his home has been the latest to be broken into while he was off playing basketball. Canada. Don't know a lot about it other than we have offered for them to be the 51st state, and they have what are the cops dressed like up there? Oh, Brandon Fraser had that movie out, the Mountie, the Canadian Mountie. Yeah, they right there at the border. They have discovered 2 backpacks that had over $1.1 million worth of cocaine in it. I'm going to bet they were bringing that into the U.S. What do y'all think? We made a post of this a moment ago. We'll talk more about it in a little while. But Linda Lavin, anybody remember her? Alice from Mel's Diner passed away yesterday. As we also know, we had another passing of a celebrity, so to speak, well known. The President of the United States, 39th, Jimmy Carter, has passed away at the age of 100. We pass along condolences to his family. A good man, he meant well. He was a Christian, without a doubt. It comes in threes, does it not?
Yep.
So, I mean, there was another lady that I just didn't know that played in Romeo and Juliet that passed away over the weekend. I just didn't know her. Olivia Hussey. Y'all remember that name? She was a teenager when she played that part. As we were talking about celebrities and break-in, Keanu Reeves, you know who I'm talking about? He's the guy that played John Wick. His home was broken into not long ago. Watches and things of that nature. He had a couple of them that cost about $7,000 to $9,000. They have been found in the country of Chile. I guess those come with serial numbers and can be they're expensive. As we look at that, we're going to get with Michael Ted Evans on this. This happened in Florida over the weekend. Fire safety. I'm sure that they teach this in Meridian. This was in Florida. Fire truck crossing railroad tracks. It did not end well. It was struck by a train. 15 firefighters were taken to the hospital. I think they were all going to live, but it was serious. And there's video of it from the train's cabin. As the train is coming, the fire truck just eases across the tracks. It hit. It was serious. Let's see here. Anybody know golf very well? Now, y'all know I'm not big on those things. I don't know much about it, but this guy's supposed to be pretty big. Scott Scheffler? He's been injured in a Christmas mishap. Piece of glass at the kitchen table broke, cut his hand. He's having to postpone. He's withdrawn from the PGA Tour. I'm sure that's a pretty big deal. Again, I'm not out at Northwood on the green, so I don't know a lot about all of this. This is we had a burglary in Meridian, and I'm not making light of the situation. Don't get me wrong, but do y'all remember when the raccoons broke into the store, 22nd Avenue, on the top of the hill there? I remember it was 3 coons. It was surrounded by the police. Homeowners don't know how this happened, but an infant was injured. This would, let's see, Idaho is where it happened. A coon somehow or another broke into a home. The mother walks down the hall, sees the coon attacking the youngster in a stroller. So mom went into action and pulled it off. Somehow or another got the baby out of the house. The Department of Wildlife showed up and, eradicated the problem. I think the baby's going to be okay, but was rushed to another hospital. I don't think it's life-threatening, but seriously hurt. And I'm sure by now, and I say this with sincerity, do you remember the days of when you saw somebody broke down, no matter what, you would pull over and help because it was the right thing to do? Apparently, that's not what you can do anymore, as we see the headline of Arizona this morning. The Good Samaritan, who pulled over to help someone, apparently, has been found dead. Whoever it was he stopped to help killed him. We don't know the details, and they are investigating that. Hopefully, they'll be brought to justice. If y'all will remember this happened in Jackson, Mississippi not long ago, of the preacher that was going down the road. Y'all remember that? The motorcycle wrecked. He pulls over to help, and it was an escaped convict. And if I'm not mistaken, the convict took his life and took his vehicle. Y'all remember that? That's not been all of that long ago. Careful with your generosity. People take advantage of it. And at the same time, we're supposed to help others. That's a tough decision. We have someone missing from another cruise. They had to move forward after a 51-year-old went overboard during a Caribbean cruise. They have no idea where he is at this point. And, of course, the worst is thought. The plane crash over the weekend, this would happen in South Korea. 179 souls were lost. They're thinking a bird struck it. It came back into land and crashed. 2 people did live. Horrifying incident. Think of those folks. It doesn't matter where you are upon this earth. You are God's children. As we go to New Jersey, you ever read the headline and get into a story and there's no doubt there's more to this story? A police officer, she was 51. She was at home alone. A car pulls up somewhere around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. They're wearing masks. They kick in the door. They go down her hallway into her bedroom. She pulls her service revolver, strikes one, and she was executed. They have no idea. They can't seem to find anything. But without a doubt, there is more to that story than meets the eye. That was meditated. It was thought out. It was a hit. We don't know the answers yet. Sad, isn't it? As we've been seeing this stuff umpteen dozen years, I can remember as a kid seeing that famous picture of what looked like Bigfoot walking. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Now they've got TV shows to where people hunt Bigfoot. There has yet to ever be a clear picture taken. And folks, there's deer cameras everywhere. We have live cameras set up in every woods. We have cameras that fire off when somebody gets into the United States that shouldn't be here, all out through there at the Texas border. As soon as somebody comes across, they're hidden. You can't even see them. Pop. It goes to somebody. They see it in live action. But yet, we still have not found a picture of Bigfoot. Yeah. We've seen suits with people wearing them, of course, and they're always blurry. The last one that I saw not long ago was somebody took a picture of Bigfoot with Kodak camera.
A Kodak.
And they claimed they didn't have a cell phone with them. That's all they had. And again, it's claims. But it's getting serious as we have 2 people that have been found in Oregon deceased looking for Bigfoot. I don't think Bigfoot exists is my point on all of this. It's not worth your life by any means out in the cold chasing something that, well, there's no evidence to support. We're going to do weather next as we get this morning started for us. Already a quarter till 47 this morning. We're going to tell you all about when to bundle up. It's coming next.
This is going to be our biggest year-end clearance event ever here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Inventory is up and rates are finally down. We promise to save you thousands on any of our new inventory. From Siennas to Sequoias, Camrys to Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, no matter the model, we will not be undersold. We want your business. With interest rates as low as 1.99%, top dollar value for your trade-in, and thousands off all of our inventory, Doc's Toyota is your clear choice for your next Toyota purchase. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
As the seasons change, so do your clothes. And Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve. Also Hulk shirts. And America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need to keep you dry in those wet conditions. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Ooh, it's time for us to talk. Let's get into our forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs and record lows, anybody remember 1984? It was 80 degrees today. Back in 17, it was a low of 11 set. Kind of chilly there. Now, the National Weather Service hadn't put out their graphics yet this morning, and they list Meridian The Meridian area reaching a high of 68 today. So we'll just have to show the blank screen since they didn't report this morning. We're going to have gusty winds of about 20 miles an hour, so be careful with that. Bama, they're on the job this morning over there for the National Weather Service, as we'll see 68 in Demopolis as we go up 66 for Tuscaloosa, and even another 2 degrees cooler in Birmingham. Auburn sits at 66 today, and the further north you go, a little cooler there, 63 in Gadsden, Alabama as well. Now, as you've all noticed, if you hadn't cracked your front door yet, it's foggy. It's froggy out there. The Meridian area south of I-20 is thick, thick, thick. Even that western side out near West Lauderdale, y'all watch these school buses and things. Is school back in?
No.
So school is still out, so I take that back. I thought so. They're out till January.
Yep.
There's other things out there. Be careful, though. A lot of fog there all the way back to Jackson. We have a level 1 visibility north of Lauderdale, Mississippi, into Kemper and Neshoba and Winston counties as well. Now, this is what we've got here. This is that wind today. Look at this over the Mississippi Delta. Highway 61, those areas north of Vicksburg up to Greenwood. Y'all be careful. It's going to be extremely windy. Now, we'll have gusts of 20 today in the Meridian area anywhere east of Vicksburg. Keep that in mind. Cooler weather approaching as we look at this. Now, here's our 7-day outlook is what we've got. It's warm today. 68, 52 for a low, 0% chance of rain. And we'll hold steady for a couple days here in the 60s at 64 tomorrow. Look at Wednesday. We start seeing 50-degree weather again. 56 for high. And we'll hit 55, 52, somewhere around 59 there on Sunday as the weekend. We welcome it back. Now, let's get into this extended forecast, and I want y'all to pay attention to what's coming. Monday the 6th, we got a high of 51. The low that night is 28, just below freezing. As we get to the 7th, high of only 44 with a low of 24. The 8th, we're nighttime low of 22. The 9th, we'll have 19 as a low, 18 on the 10th, 20 on the 11th, and then we start warming back up at night by about 8 to 10 degrees there. By the 12th, we're back to 28. But we've got to pay attention. That week of the 6th through the 12th is going to be extremely cold. And again, we want you to be ready for this, y'all. Go ahead, get your firewood, get everything prepared, your gas, your tanks filled, extra blankets, and get some hay for the pets. You've got a week to plan this. Don't be caught off guard. This is coming. Now, I have seen no sign of snow being with this. North of us, I think Tennessee's and areas like that we'll get and pay closer attention. Anything after a couple of days in Mississippi, you can kind of tweak anything 4 to 5 days out, but we all know in Mississippi, Alabama, how the weather changes drastically. What is said today may not be true 4 days from now as weather nears us. We'll be on top of this, but we do know that it's going to be beyond cold weather coming. Y'all look for this. It's coming somewhere around the 6th of January. As we go back to look at the fishing times today, what is the best time to go fishing? Well, let's see here. 11:45 looks to be a major time until about 2. It'll be after dark. You've got a slight chance from 4 to 5 right there at dark. Sunrise hits at 6:55 this morning. Sunset will hit at 4:59 this afternoon. But look at this as we look at that wind. Light southwest 5 to 10. Wind gust as high as 20. That will float your boat around. As we move to deer hunting, what's happening there? Here's our forecast for that. As we look at Wimberley, again, that wind up to 20 mile an hour with the gust. Our major time today to hunt will be, let's call it 11 o'clock. Be there by 10:30, no later. Let everything calm down. About 11 to 1 o'clock is the best time to hunt today. That's your major time. Again, sunrise 6:54, sunset 4:57 as we look at all of this. Forecast. Let's go to the live radar. That's what we had showing up this morning with the fog. I want to show you what it actually looks like right now live from the studio as we pull this up. And it is thick as we go to radar. Let's turn this off to where it shows the still pictures of where we are. Let's zoom in on this. And this follows right along with what the National Weather Service was telling us. If you start I-20 and come across northward there to almost Lauderdale, thick, thick, thick. It's thick all the way to the Lauderdale County, Kemper County line, but thicker as you're nearing Meridian. And it will stay that way. Look at Enterprise. Y'all look at this. Just east of Enterprise, if you've got to be on 514 this morning, you're not going to be able to see the hood emblem on the Lincoln. It's bad. It's thick. Be careful. Any of this area in Clark County here, Stonewall, those areas through there, but especially Highway 514 this morning. Shibuda has it. Chatham, Alabama to Jackson, Alabama. It's bad. And especially as we get here, look at this at Waynesboro down in this area here. Kanabtown, Mississippi. That's a little bitty town there. And they have a dense fog and flood warning still listed there with all that rain that they got in those areas there. So be careful there as we get into those. Actually, here, Shibuda, this is just south of there. Chatham, Alabama, those areas there, it's thick. And even over here as we get down near Macomb and you're crossing into Louisiana, look at that. Kentwood, those areas there. Wiggins, Mississippi is thick. Even into Biloxi this morning. Look at the fog we've got. Gulfport, Highway 90, you won't be able to see. I'm not sure about the lighthouse either. We got a little bit in the Delta there in Greenville, but no rain showing up, but a lot of fog through the southern states. As we look at Arkansas, Tennessee has it, even over to Georgia and Florida having some. What's going on in Abilene out here? They have a fire weather warning. That's what all that pink is. So that's a quick look at what we've got going on this morning as we travel around here. And as we look here, DeKalb showing up at 50 this morning. It's warmed up a little bit warmer there in that area. Houma, Louisiana is thick also with fog. So that's a look at our forecast. We'll get more into this as we get into the morning show. Odie's standing by. We're getting coffee ready. Already 6:52. We got time for a pot of coffee, and we're coming back live. Let's see. Albert Gully has a birthday today. Well, go ahead, Joe. We do appreciate that. And if you've got a birthday, please get that to us. Odie's going to do that. He's got an ink pen over there. He's just writing ferociously. I don't write them because he won't be able to read my handwriting. Yes, I was that kid that got U's. Do they still give U's? Or is it just me in 1976, 75?
No. You can't degrade a child like that.
Oh, you can't degrade a child? Well, they let me know right off, your handwriting is awful. But then I had two parents that it was wonderful. I just couldn't do it. The only thing, seriously, I am not lying to y'all. No one could come behind me. The only thing that I have that you can read is my signature. Outside of that, it's scribble scrabble. I've had people pick up my notes and go, "What is that?" I can't help it. I can read it, but it's only me. We'll be right back. Good morning.